Welcome to the Q&Q from Ask Yourself This. This is for the final day of July in 2018, July 31st. It's Tuesday, by the way. And thank you for being with us for this video and being with us with the ride that is Ask Yourself This. This is a very long-standing project that does more than just send you a daily quote of the day. We used to give you a question as well, the question inspired by the quote. Sometimes it's a pretty obvious question, and sometimes the question's a bit of a swerve that takes a little time to get into, which is why we get to these videos where I give you a bit of insight of where I got the question from and sometimes where the quotes come from. Quotes mostly come from just going through daily quote sites just like everyone else and looking for things that inspire a question, but sometimes quotes just literally fall into my lap. And that's what happened with this quote I found today. And we'll get to that in just a second. Now, what do you do with this quote in question other than just read it? Well, we want you to think about the question. Number one, we want you to take the extra step and write it down, your answer, log it with a timestamp so you know when it was. So in the future, you can look back and see how well you've progressed or sometimes regressed. And we like you to do that in a couple different ways. The main way is to write it down literally in some sort of journal. And we have a link in the description of this video for our beautiful Ask Yourself This journals. Two different versions. One is hardbound, one is spiral bound. So you can check out one like that. Those will last very well. And of course, they look very great when you carry them around for meetings and other note-taking activities. If you just want to find a spiral notebook and write it down there, that's just as well. We want you to write it down. And the version I basically use for all my actually long-standing notes is the internet method. I put everything down in Evernote. So if you want to pull out Evernote or the Notes app on your phone and tap out a quick answer so you can see what it is, if it moves you that much, that is great. Also, if you're moved to share your answer, because some of these questions are really great for sharing, some of them are really deep, and people get really moved and want to share what they got out of them. We like to do that as well. 3 routes to do that. Check us out on Facebook at Ask Yourself This, on Twitter, which is Ask Yourself THI_, and on Instagram, Ask Yourself This _. The question and the quote in question come down every morning at 6:35 a.m. Central Time. Just the arbitrary time we picked. It's early enough in the morning, Eastern time, to kind of get it in going, and very early everywhere else. So it's a good thing to see, start, and if you journal early, get it bright and early, get that topic going, and go from there. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the quote and the question, the Q&Q for this morning. Like I said, this quote literally fell into my lap a few weeks ago as I was going through planning out for July, and it had to go in there. I'm really ashamed it took me this far into my working to get it into here, because this is a great beginning of the month quote, but it turned out to be the end of the month quote for July, and it's a great quote to get us out of this month, preparing for a big month, the 8th month of the year. And the quote is from Pink, the rock star, if you will. Here it is. Once you figure out what respect tastes like, it tastes better than attention, but you have to get there. And the question from that, which is a bit of a swerve today, and I wrote it this way particularly, do you command respect from others? Not demand, command respect from others. Not do you show up and tell people you're going to respect me, but do you show up, do they magically seem to just sort of respect you? Do they just sort of show up and just fall in line because your presence is there? Have you earned that right where you step into a room and people step to attention regardless of what your rank is because your stature is so great? This is not about demanding your attention from others, demanding that they give you respect, demanding that they do for you what you want them to do. This is a not so much natural ability, although some people do have that naturally, that natural charisma. This is something where a lot of it is based on reputation. A lot of it is based on what precedes you, how you work, how you act, and how you work and act in that instance. Some people can get that attention quickly. Some people can command respect instantly from what they do in their actions. Some people do a long, slow burn to work themselves up to some place where they are the industry standard and everyone bows down to what they do. So how do you operate when it comes to respect? And this is not necessarily you got to give respect to get respect, whatever. This is literally when you walk into a room, do you command respect? When you step in, do people just step into line with what you have going on instantly or not? Or are you a person who demands it anyway and it just sort of happens that way? there's a question for you to ponder today, and hopefully you're going to take the time to journal it out. We have listed here our 3 social media links. So if you want to share this with the rest of the class, it's very easy. Of course, Facebook is at @YaskYourselfThis, and Twitter is @AskYourselfTHI_, and for Instagram, it's @AskYourselfThis_. If you want to share, or if you just want to show your appreciation for the quotes and the questions, because we need feedback. And this is the quickest way to get feedback, is to go to one of the social media sites, especially if you are subscribed, and get them every morning, and like, love, share, hate, whatever, respond to whatever the quotes and questions that you enjoy the most, because that way we know which ones are the best, or the better, as we say, and we can do more things with them. In fact, tomorrow we do step up and do something a little extra with the quotes and questions, as we are releasing the daily planner and notes worksheet right here. Although they're out there have been plenty of samples, plenty of links to them across the net for those who follow this and other projects I have going on. We're going to release it for officially tomorrow, but we're going to have a little extra sneak peeks for those guys who check out the video. So keep on checking out the videos, and you'll get more great things from this, and of course hopefully help us support what's going on. On the same link where you can find those journals, you can find other merchandise from Ask Yourself This, including stickers and mugs, and of course t-shirts. Whatever is your fancy, please think about buying a little bit of merch to help us keep the project going on. It's a long going project, and it's a labor of love in some cases, but also it is a labor. So we thank you so much for, number one, being here with us, because without you, there is no us. That's the biggest number one. And number two, hopefully you're gathering lots and lots of information from this. Let me know, share with us how these questions are impacting your life, and share some of the answers if you're up to it. As we said, plenty of ways to share them. Share them via social media. You can send me a basic email to comments to the video here. And of course, if you want to keep it to yourself, that's awesome. But we want you to make sure you're writing it down so you can get the full effect of the journal process. And this worksheet we have here will help you with that in the next coming days. So check that out. See if that's a thing that will help you out, and see if it'll help you help me, if you will. In the meantime, we're going to be back tomorrow for the beginning of another month, the 8th month of the year. So we are almost finished with the third quarter, and almost finished with the full 12 months. It's amazing how quickly a year goes once you get into it, and that's what's happening here. Goodbye for now. Tomorrow, the very first day of August 1st, 2018, with the QandQ from Ask Yourself This.